12.
Yeah, get in touch at 087 77 11 103. There is a march against racism, and Bray Wanderers are mentioned in the reason for this march tomorrow, and it's happening in Bray. Anne Ferris joins us. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, Declan.
Why would you be taking part in this march, and what is your particular involvement?
Well, I've been asked by the organisers of the march to try and highlight the event tomorrow as much as I can, which is why I'm here with you this morning. Obviously, there were a lot of people in the community of Bray that were very disturbed and upset when they saw posts on Facebook by the management of Bray Wanderers. There were a couple of different posts. One was a homophobic post following the tragedy, the terrible shooting in Orlando of the gay bar, and the second one was of a monkey dressed in a dress, and there was some comment made about a footballer. Now, a lot of people in the community in Bray, and particularly the supporters group, feel that this is not the message to be given out by senior management of Bray Wanderers, that it's not acceptable. There's an upsurge of racism in England after the Brexit vote only in the last week. We saw Joe Cox, the MP over there, being shot dead. And indeed, I read in the Wicklow Times this week that there is a spate of neo-Nazi graffiti being plastered all over walls in Bray. Now, this upsurge is something really to be concerned about, and the group that are organising this march are asking people to meet tomorrow at 6:30 down on the Dublin Road at AXA, and they're marching up, and it is a peaceful walk, marching up through the town, down Quinsborough Road, and to have a quiet, peaceful protest outside the Carlisle grounds, which is the home of the Bray Wanderers.
Okay, just a couple of things there. You said posting by the management of Bray Wanderers. It was by one particular person who happens to be a manager or in a position similar to that in Bray Wanderers on a personal account. Most people would agree that the posting on the Orlando situation was totally unacceptable. The second was maybe naive, but people would question the thinking that goes into it, because the person in question sort of retweeted or favorited or sent back that particular picture that was sent in the first place. And the person was reacting and saying, I suppose if you post these sort of things, you will be described as being racist, which is not initiating a racist photograph in the first bit. But the thinking, I suppose, that goes into the fact that you would actually post it publicly in reaction and therefore accentuate the crime is probably the difficulty. That's
right, and I think the problem is that there's a lack of judgment in posting something like that. I mean, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't. I don't think you would. I think we would think twice before putting something up. And as far as I can understand, there was no real apology made. I know it was put up by the general manager of Bray Wanderers, and then the chairman, his brother, replied to the negativity or the negative responses they got, saying that it was just banter. Now, I don't think that's acceptable. The people at the top of Bray Wanderers are leaders in our community, and I think that they have to, at all times, whether they're in their personal life or whether they're dealing with Bray Wanderers, they have to show leadership. They have to think twice before they would do anything like this. And they have caused a great amount of upset to the community in Bray, and particularly the gay community.
Dennis O'Connor has said that they are turning this negative into a positive, and that they are not racist, and they are working very hard to turn any attitudes like this around.
Well, I'd like to hear how it's going to be turned into a positive. I haven't heard anything. There's been no response certainly in the local papers about it.
He asked for 2 weeks leeway in order to change things and to obviously make sure that it wouldn't happen again, but also to turn that negative into a positive.
Well, that would be good. And but at the same time, I think that this event tomorrow is a good sign for the people in Bray, and particularly our LGBT community, that people in Bray do not find this acceptable, and it's something like this should never happen again. There are a lot of young people who are still afraid, even though times have changed, but they are still afraid to come out as being gay, and this kind of thing doesn't help at all. As far as I understand, over 100 complaints have been made to the FAI, so perhaps it's the FAI, perhaps they're putting pressure now on the management of Bray Wanderers to turn this into a positive. But it will be interesting to see what will happen, and we'll look forward to that. But at the same time, I'm urging people in Bray, and indeed our public representatives, to join in the march tomorrow to show that this kind of behaviour is not acceptable.
So the agenda basically is we are not happy, do something about it.
Exactly.
And it's what time?
It's at 6:30, meeting down at AXA on the Dublin Road, and walking over the bridge, down Queensborough Road, and down to the Carlisle grounds, where I understand a match will be taking place.
All right, okay. And Ferris, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks, thank you.